Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Zoom Into Wine. It's time for the show and your host, Ian Blackburn.
Today we're gonna cook a beautiful truffle pasta. Easy, like you can do everyone in your home. It's not too much gourmet, but if you follow the recipe, it's gonna be super easy to taste a very high quality truffle pasta dinner. Step number one will be put the right amount of water inside the pot. Too many people here in the States put not enough water to get the pasta boiling properly. So we're gonna put as long as we arrive to this sign, and then we're gonna leave the pot on the fire, high flame, until it's boiling in a very strong way. Not just soft bubbles, but very huge bubbles. That's exactly the point you wanna get to put the pasta on the water. Okay, now that we have the right amount of water, we put the flame on the highest level possible, and we need to wait until the water starts boiling. Usually it takes 10 minutes, no more. Now the water looks like it's boiling, but it's not the right boiling point that you want to boil. Why? Because you need stronger bubbles. And it's very important to don't put the salt before the right boiling point. Otherwise, the water will boil at longer time that it takes, because saltiness gives more density to the water. And if the water is more dense, it's gonna take longer to create the right bubble point and the right boiling point. So now is really boiling the water at the right boiling point. And you can tell from the exterior how the bubbles are very strong. You cannot see the bottom of the pot any longer due to the boiling, that it is very strong. That is the right moment. It's the moment now to add the salt. I usually use a punch, just a punch of it, and I just add the salt. Since the water is at the right boiling point, as you can see, the water doesn't stop to boil. So that means that we put the salt at the right moment when the water was already boiling at the best boiling point that is possible. Now is the time to put the pasta on the water. Let's open the bag. Use a scissors so it's easier for you to open. As you can see, you can write the boiling cooking time here. 10-12 minutes. I recommend 10 minutes so you have the nice al dente pasta. You take just a portion. A bag is good for 3/4 portions. So if you take just a third of the bag, like this, you are fine with just a portion of it. Go with the pasta in the center, in the middle, exactly in the center of the pot. Leave the pasta fall and then open the pasta around. Don't touch the spaghetti, because you need to have the pasta falling naturally inside the water. If you want to help a little bit, just nicely and slowly press in the middle. We need to put the butter inside the pot. So let's first obviously turn on the flame. Flame must be very, very low, the lowest possible. And then you take the truffle butter, and with just a knife, you take one portion, you help with a spoon, let the butter inside the pot, and another half portion of butter. That's the exact quantity. So if you have a knife, just arrive almost in the middle of the blaze. That's a portion for you. Meanwhile, the pasta is boiling. With the spoon, help a little bit the butter to be melted in all the surface of the pot. So I'm taking the white foam, and why the white foam and not the water? Because the white foam has a little bit of water, but is the richest part of starch or gluten that needs to create the cream, naturally cream, without using cream when you make your pasta. As you can see, there is still the white foamy at the middle of the butter. Now that 8 minutes out of 10 are gone, we're gonna finish the cooking process on the truffle butter. So I'm gonna use the same flame. I'm gonna take the pot very close to that, move this one here, and then I'm not gonna drain the pasta. I take directly from the pot inside the melting pot.
All right, good evening, everybody. Hope you're doing right. We're ready to go here at Zoom Into Wine. And I want to thank this amazing audience. We had such a great response to this program, and we're super excited about it. We've got some great regulars on the Zoom, but we also have some new folks. How many of you are doing this with us for the first time? Yay, that's so great. We're happy you found us. We do some very high level Zooms like this on a number of occasions, every Wednesday, every Saturday, doing something fun and different. And Luca, are you there? Did I find you, Luca? I don't see Luca yet. I'm gonna email Luca and make sure Luca is on the Zoom. Zoom time, Luca. Speak up if you're there, Luca. All right. So that's Luca Lolli, who's on the video. He is our truffle purveyor, and he's an Italian importer of all things. I've got a number of items in our gift store from Luca's store, and he worked really hard to pull this off. I mean, literally making 2 different trips to the airport to get enough truffle for us. And I want to thank everybody for joining us. Sarah, how is yours turning out? Sarah Evans, you're looking lovely there. How you guys doing? I gotta give you a lot of credit. This was your idea, so I want to thank you guys for the idea.
Thanks for doing it.
Thank you for doing this.
Yeah.
I like your setup.
You do, okay. Tasty. White truffle and the Barolo. What do you want more in that?
Yeah, we're going to learn all about that Barolo tonight. We've got the winemaker signing on here. He might already be here. I see his name on the box. Good morning, Danielle. How are you? Buongiorno.
Maybe good night for you is better.
Yeah, just in your honor, I almost did an all-nighter last night. We've been very busy around here, and I can appreciate how tired you must be, because I am out of it. But I should be a little funnier, because I'm a little bit, with a sleep deprived. So we'll see what happens. But Danielle, thank you for being on the Zoom. We've got some wonderful people here. Let me say hi to David Cam. Thank you. How are you, buddy? Joe, good to see you, man. So happy that you're on the Zoom. Everybody got all their products okay?
Yeah.
All right. Have you started truffle shaving yet? No, you're gonna wait till later? You want to do it now? What do you want to do? I was hoping to get like a little. I want to take my camera, and I want to have everybody like on the Zoom at the same time, like truffle shaving like this. Is that possible? Even if we can just pretend?
We can do it again.
Let's pretend.
He wants to
Wait, you're too early.
No. Well, am I? I don't know. We're going to start talking about the wine. It's going to get away from us. Some people have done it already. So I'm going to blow up the screen here.
Something.
You guys ready?
Yeah, here we go.
Do it.
The wine's in front of you.
Look at that.
We didn't get a shaver. That's cool.
Awesome. So Luca, help us get these truffles fresh from either Piedmont if you got the white truffle, or the black truffle from Tuscany. And I'd be curious to know which one you prefer. Some of you guys got both, and I'd love to hear, the comments and which one.
Ian, would you mind changing your screen share so that we can see each other a little better?
Oh, let me see what I got done. Am I sharing the screen right now? I think yeah, let me do that. I had it blown up really nice so I could see the photo there, but you guys couldn't see that. So there we go. And now I'll take this off. And how's the gallery look? Better?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. Cool. Well, thanks for playing the game. I am a wine educator that taught wine classes for the last 25 years here in Los Angeles. I worked in some of the top restaurants here in LA, and I got into selling wine for the big distributors. I went to work for a company called Co-Brand out of New York, and I sold wine to great restaurants here in Southern California. When I left Co-Brand to start teaching full-time, 2005, we had an amazing ride and an amazing ride up into 2007 when the economy broke. I changed my game, and here we are about 13 years later, and it's a game changer. We got Zoom in our life now, and we're Zooming all the time. In fact, I am doing 5 Zoom Christmas parties for big companies this month. And we're going to have over 200 people on a Christmas Zoom this week, with everybody getting a blind wine flight. We're doing some really fun stuff, and we're trying to keep it really exciting in this, kind of day and age. You got to find the joy in the small places. And I think this is like as close to a wine community as we could ask for. We've got some really fun and amazing people on this Zoom. And Russell, I'm so happy to have you. My friend David Kay.
Thank you.
Patrick O'Neill, thank you for joining us. Hope you got everything okay. Hi, Lynn's iPad. How are you?
Good,
Jessica.
Italian for you.
Jessica and Garth. Hey, guys. Super happy. Terry Kamali, you truffling up? Did you already do the little shavy action?
Yes, sir. It's delicious.
Everything tasting good?
Yep.
Did the video help you? Did you even need it?
Actually, it taught me something new with the foam from the pasta.
Yeah, that's where a lot of the starch is from for the sauce, to give it that little extra richness.
To add that first. That was cool. I usually add it when I add it into my sauce and just bring the pasta in with it. So
cool.
Nice lesson. Thank you.
Yeah, he did a good job. And my friend Hector, I'm not sure if he's watching tonight, but he might be on Facebook. Hector, our videographer, made the video for us. We're very thankful for him. And I know there's a lot of new faces on the Zoom tonight, so real exciting. But we're gonna get into the wine, because we got a winemaker who woke up in Piedmont, Italy to get on the Zoom with us. And I'm super excited to get to know Danielle Conterno a little bit, because we have not met. So thank you for doing this. And it's 3 a.m. there, right, Danielle?
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock now. All right. Well, and that's just an average day. You wake up every day at 4 o'clock in the morning in Piedmont, right?
Yeah, we wake up at 5, and it doesn't make big difference.
Well, everybody on the Zoom has either a taste or a bottle of your 2012. I have Corvin's mine. I gave it, I filled up the glass. I think I'm going to need to go back in, but I want to start off with a toast, everybody. Thank you very much. I hope that the holiday seasons treat you well, and that you're able to find some peace and happiness. Cheers to you. Thanks for joining us.
All right, let's do it.
I got to try this wine with Scott. Is Scott on the Zoom tonight? If you are, Scott, click in.
Hey, I'm here. Thank you for putting this together.
Okay, my pleasure, Scott. Thank you for introducing me to this wine. Scott's a winemaker from. He makes some wine in Italy. He's quite the the Renaissance man, and enjoyed talking to Scott about all things. He's a hustler, and he brings in his own wine and is involved in marketing Danielle's wine. Scott, tell everybody about your brand.
Thank you for that, Ian. So real quick, because I know Danielle, it's so early for you.
Don't worry for me, no problem.
Thank you. So real quick, I started off in food and beverage. I worked at Shutters on the Beach in Santa Monica, California for 7.5 years, and they paid for my wine education, WSET 2 and 3. Because of that course, two of my colleagues and I were like, you know what, we can do this. And we decided to raise money, and we started a wine brand called Honey Bubbles. Now, we call it Honey Bubbles because it's a Moscato that we donate to help save the bees. We produce in Piemonte. We actually source from Asti and Veneto, but it's a Moscato with half the residual sugar. We ferment out to 11%, so twice the ABV of a traditional Moscato di Asti. And of course, calling it Honey Bubbles because we donate to save the bees. Drove every case in the back of my car in the beginning. Now we're in 20 states. We're on Disney Cruise Lines, Virgin Cruise Lines, and very excited for restaurants to open up again in a safe capacity. So, but thank you for that, Ian.
And my pleasure, man. I'd like to give you props because you did a good job with the packaging, and it's actually a really tasty product. So you're gonna have to look out for it. He's been out of stock for a while, or we probably have it in our place right now. But it is a fun and delicious, and everyone's gonna like this wine. And it's really well done. It's not too sweet. It's just really got a nice personality, and Scott, I compliment you on that. Good job.
Thank you, and your wine as well.
Yeah, we got the bees in common, buddy. We got the bees in common, so got to support each other.
Thank you.
Stephanie Smith, how are you guys doing? You're doing it up. You guys, you're even wearing a sports coat. Wow, that's impressive. All right. Well, let's let our, I know I saw Luca on the Zoom as well for a second. This is Luca, your face mask up. Are you in a spot where you can take that down?
Here I am.
All right.
Here I am.
Hey, buddy, good job on the video. Thank you for getting us the truffles. I know you had to make a couple of trips, and I think you had to kill a couple of people to get those truffles. So I thank you for that. It was a lot of effort for you, and I really appreciate it, man.
It was a pleasure. It's the first time I'm on Zoom for a Zoom dinner based out on wine and truffle. So I'm happy to start with the top level one, like you did here. And it was so funny for me. And I really like the way I can give some tricks that obviously you don't find in the restaurants, but it's more like my grandma tricks to cook pasta, give more sauce, or taste better the flavor of the truffle. So I really appreciate the opportunity, and I hope this will be just the first one that we do, and looking forward for the second dinner.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we've got some of your products in the Italian gift box that we're selling for Christmas, and it's already doing pretty well.
Nice.
And we're doing that kind of stuff too. And Lisa Tess, did you already eat your truffle pasta tonight?
I did not tonight because I had truffles last week.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
Anthony Greco, did yours work out okay? It looks like you got the whole pot, you got the bottle. Bravo. Yeah. Now, Anthony, I gotta raise a glass to Anthony, because Anthony contacted me when I posted this thing. We didn't even have it up for sale, and I need his wife to hear this. Anthony, your wife, he was on top of me like daily going, when is that going for sale? My wife is going to love this. I need to get this for my wife. So, yeah, this is for you. You're welcome. You're welcome. Cheers. I hope I didn't cause any problems. All right. So we really hope that you guys enjoy the presentation tonight. And I'm going to see if there's any questions right now. Anyone sitting there going, okay, what I need to know something? Joe, go ahead.
Can you
change your home
take
screen?
the screen? Yeah, let's see all the people. Get rid of that honey bubble screen.
Oh,
Yeah.
I keep doing that. Sorry. I could see everybody, but you're staring at the honey bubble screen.
All right.
There we go. How's that?
Better.
All right. Keep me honest. Like I said, I didn't sleep like 5 minutes last night, so I'm already having a great time. All right, so Danielle, let's get into it. I've been to. How many of you have been to Piedmont, up into the wine country, northern Italy? Yeah, this is the time to go, and we've been fortunate to learn that the first time we went, we were there, just happened to be there, and we were like, oh, this is the truffle season. And so every year people would be like, why do you always go around Thanksgiving to Italy? I can't leave my family. And I'm like, it's truffle season. And by the time end of November comes around, they actually have the truffle festival in early October, and sometimes the truffles aren't even ready. And so we got there a couple of years ago. David Kay's on the Zoom with us. He and his wife and I went to Piedmont, and we got there and they didn't have any truffles in early October, but by November, by Thanksgiving, they were giving them away. They had baskets of truffles on the restaurant tables. So we were just feasting on the truffles on that trip. And it was just a optimal, beautiful experience there. It even snowed. We woke up in the morning. Danielle, is it snow-covered streets right now?
Again, yes.
All right.
The last week we have 4 or 5 days snow, and now we have like 30 centimeters of snow.
All right.
But that's for the truffle is also good. Normally the people, I don't go to hunting truffle, but I have a lot of friends who do, and they say with the soil more cold is better for the truffle because the doggy have more facility to find the truffle, and the quality is also for sure is the best. Normally the season is starting end of September, last week of September. Normally until end of the year, the first 1 or 2 weeks of January is the season for the truffle. And the last part of the season, this moment of the season is always, I think also for the quality of the truffle, the best season, because the soil is starting to be a little bit colder, the doggy find a little bit early, a little bit more fresh, and also the maturation, because truffle is a mushroom. And we are in the end of the season is for sure the best moment for eat truffle. So a little bit more problem with 30 centimeters of snow, but for the quality is for sure the best.
Fantastic. Now, I am not sure how many of you are big Barolo fans, or maybe just the idea of it sounds good, but Barolo is one of those wines that you eventually get to, and quite honestly, sometimes when you fall in love with Barolo, everything else kind of falls away, because Barolo is that type of wine. It is exclusively, it's the name of the town, it's in Piedmont, and it is made from the Nebbiolo grape, and Danielle's going to tell us all about how he treats it. But this is a really important wine, and it is known as the king of wines in Piedmont. Yes, Danielle?
Yeah, that is, I think, one of the perfect way for explain Barolo when you say about the history. I think in Piedmont, or maybe in the Langhe, in our region, we have 3 most important wine, and is all 3 made with Nebbiolo grapes, and we talk about Barolo, Barbaresco, and Roero. One of the most easy way, if you want, for explain these 3 wine, is say Barolo is the king of the wine for the king. The Barbaresco is considering the queen of the wine, and the Roero is the prince of the wine. That is for the structure and for the complexity of the wine we have in our region. Barolo is for sure the most powerful complexity with the more strongness, more tannins. Barbaresco is also Nebbiolo for sure, where we have a little more sand that is more fresh, more elegant, more balanced type of Nebbiolo. in the end, with the Roero, we are more in the north of our region, and that is the most elegant and the most approachable type of Nebbiolo. After that, we have million of different vineyards, different producer, different hand to making wine. But it is for me the best and the fast way for explaining the Barolo and the Nebbiolo in our region.
Cool. Well, Daniele, do you have something you want to show everybody? Do you have any slides or photos? Because I do. If you don't, and I welcome you to take the lead.
If you want, we have a small screen, but I'm not able to share the screen with you.
Okay, let me find out what's going on with my screen.
We have some picture. It's not really picture. Is an application made from Mesnaghetti. Mesnaghetti is a geologist from our region, and he do this for me amazing app for see our region and our land.
There it is.
Just a second.
Before you begin, I just want to kind of dress the table a little bit, and you can correct me if my pitch is off at all here, Daniele. But you know, in the region of Barolo, there are some really important names, and none is more important than Conterno. And when you look at the number of Conternos, there's a number of them. And the most famous is probably your grandfather, yes?
Yeah, Giacomo Conterno.
Giacomo, and your dad is Franco.
Franco Conterno, yes.
Great.
All wine producer.
Yeah. And you're the next in line. And how long have you had your label?
Oh, my label is quite young. We're starting with the first wine in 2012, the one you have in the glass now. We're starting with the Sette Anni and the Bussia 2012 is our two single vineyard. And we go full on the market in 2016 with the Barbera and the Langhe Nebbiolo 2015. That's you say before. I'm for sure I'm the last Conterno on the market, but I'm not really the last. For sense is I started to make my own wine, my idea of wine in 2012. Everything is for sure for me possible because my father Franco Conterno is also a brand on the wine. He gave me some land, he gave me the space of the cellar, he gave me the chance to use the barrel. And when I talk about my father about this project, my father he was totally open to this. But in my mind, I think it was correct to don't copy, don't use my father brand for creating my market and for do something different. But I think it was correct to change the brand because the wine are different. And but without my father gave me this chance, it was absolutely impossible because the price of the land here on the region and creating new market and everything my father he showed me and explained to me, it was impossible to start to zero. For that is big chance for me when my father he said, yes, why not, we try, if you want try to do something different, I give you the chance for try. And I started to make in 2012. My family is a fourth generation making wine in the Langhe, and here the one you see this house in the middle is the winery where we have the cellar. All this part is the part of the cellar, and all the oldest part is the part where we have the bed and breakfast and the agriturismo. In the end, it was surprise for me because after that decision I started to make my own wine and I started to work with Danny Grape Juice is our importer in the United States and with the Scott, and it was quite fun because today I sell all my production through Danny and Scott. Today my brand and my work is all in the States. All my the production is so small because they make around 20,000 bottles every year for all the wine, but it was fun because I started and I sell all in a moment.
Very nice. A little connection came in and out, but you keep coming back pretty strong. So we're if we appear to be like listening for the next note, you disappeared a little bit on me, but you look good. You look good. That's all that's important.
That is the problem to be in the middle of nothing in the Lange. You have good wine, good truffle, but the internet connection is a little bit disaster.
Very good, very good. All right. Well,
And
that's
sorry, I don't change truffle and Barolo with the connection.
Well, I have a little slideshow as well, so I'll bring that in, and I'm going to have to take back the host if that's okay. Unless you have something else you want to show us, I'll just reclaim the host. And here we go. So, of course, tonight we're on Zoom into Wine and we're doing some truffles. Hopefully you got a picture of your dish. Some people used the black truffle, some people did the white truffle. This was actually a picture we took right here at my classroom when Luca made the dish. Hector was here with the camera shooting the video, and he's just an amazing photographer, but the product speaks for itself. And these are the raw ingredients that everybody got, including a little truffle butter. And we do have more pasta, more wine, a couple bottles anyway. That wine is, I'm lucky I grabbed as much as I did because I think I have about 3 bottles left, and that's all there is, at least for now. But Daniele, this is his first wine, first vintage, so there was a lot of pressure to perform for your grandfather, for your dad, and for the legend of the Conterno family. So you're off to a great start in my eyes. I mean, you're standing on the shoulders of giants in an amazing wine region. You know, France is nearby, Switzerland. You can probably best get into Piedmont through flying into, what's the major airport you use the most, Daniele?
Milano or sometimes Torino, but Torino is not so big.
Okay, yeah.
But Milano is 2 hours by car, I think it's not far away.
Is this your hillside or just a pretty picture that my designer found?
This is the front of the house. This is the view we have to the cellar.
Awesome.
And this is the theater of the Busia.
Beautiful. And when we make Barolo, these are, this is a wine that likes to see a long, slow maturation. How long do you keep your wine in these various wood vessels? And notice the size. They're not trying to get the wine to be oaky. They want to allow the wine to have a very gentle contact with the oxygen, a little bit of evaporation, and a slow, time in the cellar to really develop its nuances. But how long do you keep the wine in the wood, Daniele?
But all the wine I make today is all aging, exception for the white wine. But if you talk about the Barbera and Nebbiolo is a little bit short. The one you have tonight in the glass, the 7 anni, is the longest one with aging because the 7 anni 2012 is the new vintage for us in the market. For me in the market, is 7 anni is the time of the aging because it's a 7-year aging in oak and 1 year in the bottle before realizing the market. Now
7 years.
Yeah.
7 years in the big. Is that a food ray? Would you call that a food ray?
For the Barolo, we use only the big barrel, and we start into 25 hectoliter. We arrive to 5,000 liter for the size. And we use this big because 7 years is for sure a long time. We only have, if you see on the right of the picture, we have this, the oldest barrel we have on the cellar. We only use this really old barrel, 35 years old. Because the oak is a little bit more close, a little bit less on the it gives less quantity of tannins of oak tasting wine. For sure, it's a Barolo with dryness, with complexity, but elegant and gentle. And for make this 7-year aging in oak, we have to use this old barrel for not cover more tannins the oak than the quality of the wine.
Amazing, 7 years.
That is the winery. The one you have in front now, we make a little bit of small new piece here in front of the winery. But the one on the left is, I think, one of the favorite terrace from Danny, and for sure also for Scott now when he come to the winery, and for all the people if you want to enjoy on the winery, is the terrace with the view on the vineyard where normally we use for the tasting and summertime. Yeah, and here on the left, on the lower part of the picture, some friends say is one of the top place for truffle. Me, exactly. I have a glass of wine, I have a good salami, and
That's life. That sounds good. Yeah, I think we're all going to be a lot more satisfied with a glass of wine and salami the next time we're there too. We're not going to be too demanding. Some of the technical notes. So these crews that you are able to farm, these are pretty famous vineyard designation, vineyard names, areas, and a number of people make Busia. How do you pronounce?
Busia,
Pugnane,
and Panerole.
Panerole. Okay.
It's the 3 single vineyard of property from my family, and the Barolo Sette Anni is not always every year the same, because the Sette Anni for us is like is a selection of the best grapes from all the 3 vineyards. For example, the 2012 is around 80%, 75-80% from Busia, around 50% from Panerole, from 45% from Pugnane. We not use only a single vineyard. 2010, for example, vintage was 100% Busia grapes. And every year the Sette Anni is different. It's a selection for us of the best grapes. And we starting every year to make this wine, but not every year we bought it. For example, we doesn't have a vintage 2011. We doesn't have a vintage 2009. But for example, we're bottling, I think in 20 days, the 2013 vintage for realizing the market in September.
Excellent. Well, we'll have to get back in business.
No, but the thing is the most important grapes, most important wine we have at the winery is absolutely true to make only the best vintage of the wine. This is a classic grapes of Nebbiolo. You see sorry, if you go back to the picture before,
sure.
You see on the grapes, you have this white part on the skin. Some people say is why we have the name of Nebbiolo. Nebbiolo, it means, you remember a lot of, when we talk in Italian, we talk about nebbia. Nebbia means fog. And we have 2 history for the name of these grapes. Some people say because Nebbiolo is for sure the one with more, we call this white on the grapes, Pruina on Italian. If Nebbiolo is the variety from our region, we have more of these on the grapes. And that you remember a little bit the fog. The second version is because Nebbiolo is always the last one when we do harvest. Normally we go middle, end of October, and we're starting with the season of the fog in our region. That is a little bit the 2 history about the name Nebbiolo, starting from nebbia, fog. Production is so small. We have to increase a little bit, but not a lot. And we are totally organic on the production. All the wine I make, we are 100% doesn't use any yeast for fermentation, but is totally natural fermentation. And normally we do also in the other wine, not normally, we do aging in all oak for all the wine. And one of the questions normally the people tell me you are traditional or you are modern style. That is question where it's quite difficult for me to respond because I'm totally open to use big barrel, French oak, stainless steel, all different. I think all the vintage is different. All the year we have different grapes, different characteristic, and the work of the winemaker is exalt the characteristic of the vintage. Sometimes you have wine is quite different one to the other. If you only change the vintage, the wine is totally different. But I think today this is our work: is exalt the characteristic of the vintage, and don't make a standard wine, but try to respect in the bad way, in the good way, the vintage and the characteristic of the land and the wine and the grapes. This is some fun. Maybe next year you find something in the States, because that is a sparkling Nebbiolo. I started to make just for fun in 2010, a little bit more serious in 2013, 2014. It's a project where we cut only the bunch of the grapes of the Nebbiolo, and we do metodo classico in fermenting on the bottle for 45 months. Now with the Gordon some 2014, that's quite interesting, and maybe next year we're starting to sell also a little bit. I'm really big fan about sparkling wine. I really like sparkling wine. For that,
is it skin contact or white?
No, it's white. It's totally white, and what is funny is you really feel like Nebbiolo. You feel also in the sparkling version the tannins and the structure of the Nebbiolo. It's really funny.
Well, I'll talk about how great your wine is because when Scott brought me your whole lineup, we tasted Scott, did we taste 15s and all 15 and the 12, right?
We tried the DOCG, Barolo, the Ponarole 15, the Barbera, and the Langhe, and of course the Busia, the 2013.
And I hit this one and I was just like, oh, that's it right there. And in my store, I try not to carry two wines from any one producer. So I had to make a choice, and this was the one I fell in love with here. And then as soon as I'm like, how am I gonna, introduce this wine? Because as an internet wine store, you're not just like walking around, you're not gonna trip on it.
Did I actually bring in the Nascetta for you?
No, not yet, but you have teased me with that. So we're gonna have to try it. Yeah.
All right, perfect.
Yeah. And so when we got the wine, beautiful wood box, beautiful package. I'm like, we need to do something around this wine. And I checked with Scott to see how many cases there were. And we took them all. And so and you guys bought them all. So that's the great thing about these Zooms, is that you get to try something really, really special. And I mean, this wine's, how many total cases of this wine did you make, Danielle?
That's 2,500 bottles. That means
200 cases.
2,000, yeah.
Yeah. So
production is absolutely small. we only have 5 or 6 barrels in the cellar we use for this wine, and it's 23 or 25 hectoliter. That means 2,600, 3,000 bottle maximum production.
Well, let's get some comments from some people, because I'm even loving it more now, because I've been able to let it sit in the glass, and it just continues to open and expand, and some of the classic nuances of Nebbiolo. They always talk about tar and roses. I'm never quite on to the rose part of that equation. I always get the tar, and your wine does have a floral nature to it too, and the balance that it has. Maybe this is a difference that you're bringing to the equation, because a lot of a lot of producers, they go for power, and this one is just so elegant and so refined, and I mean, maybe it's that 7-year program that you're on, but the mission worked, and congratulations, it's a phenomenal wine.
Yeah, in one way, wine is born for this, because he won't try to make one Barolo ready for drink with the good maturation. When you go on the market, open on the nose, and we talk a lot also with my father about this, and they say the only way we have is wait. For sure, it's a big risk, because 7 years is absolutely not normal aging for so long time wine. But in the year when we have a chance, when we have the structure of the body and the acidity for wait for this, is for sure the best way for being the market with Barolo, full complexity, but ready to drink. For sure, if you make in the glass and you wait 1 hour, and the decanter is much better, much open. But you imagine that is a wine you stay for 7 years in the barrel, and after we go in the bottle without filter, without anything. That is wine is now is 1 year is in the bottle, because we bought it normally January and February. And 2012 it was not easy vintage, because it was a warm vintage. We started to make this wine while we use a part of Panerole, because normally Panerole, for characteristic of the single vineyard, we have more acidity, more freshness. The tannins are a little bit more less elegant than Bussia maybe, but more powerful, more structure and more acidity. And that it was important for us for give the chance of the wine to keep 7 years in the cellar.
Well, I just put the glass up to my nose, and I just got a big nose full of roses. So, I mean, it's just like picking up a big bouquet of roses and smelling those fresh, right out of the, right out of the flower shop.
Sorry if I don't have a glass of wine, but 4 o'clock in the morning, it was a little bit too much for breakfast.
But I'm sure by 6:30, it's going to be just fine.
Okay. So now in 20 minutes, the bar is still open. I go for breakfast, and after I take a glass of wine.
Fantastic. Luca, did I give you some wine? Did you drink it already?
I did already. I did. I had a truffle dinner with my wife earlier.
Okay.
We just love it, the Barolo. As Danielle was saying, it was completely different from the one I expected, but I found that it's extremely good. It was insane. We both love it, and actually we were looking to buy a bottle of it for Christmas, because we absolutely fall in love with that. So Danielle, congratulations. You are doing an amazing job. I really would like, as soon as I come back to Italy, I want to take the chance to visit your cellars, because what you're doing is absolutely outstanding. You deserve absolutely a trip. You can be a destination place to me.
Thank you. For all people, if you come to Piedmont, the cellar is always open, and it's always pleasure. We always have some cheese and some salami with glass of wine for everybody.
You don't need anything else, basically.
Well, I'd love to open up the floor to anyone that wants to comment, question. First come, first serve.
I want to just say something, guys, because I need to run. Today is my son's birthday that is turning 1 year old. So I just take 45 minutes to listen to you all and to say thank you to this opportunity. But now I need to go, because we were out with my colleagues just for a quick dinner. So I'm sorry if I need to leave, but I really wanna thank you, everyone. I saw comments of the truffle that you love it. I'm happy about that. Daniele, thank you for the great wine, and Ian gave me the chance to taste it. It really was delicious. A perfect combination with wine and truffle. Your wine is great, absolutely. And Ian, thank you so much again for the opportunity. I look forward to do another dinner like that.
Well, we'll definitely find the right thing to connect on, and thank you for your effort. I know it was we literally ran out of black truffle, and he found a couple white
Yeah.
truffles for us to make it. So
Yeah, let me say I was my challenge was to find a good quality, obviously, in a short time, because you asked me for the best, and to find the best and select the best on the size I gave everyone was a hard challenge, but we did it. As Danielle said, there was a lot of snow, and probably we're gonna have the best truffle in the season here during the Christmas time. So I'm looking forward to have the truffle on that part, because yes, within 2 weeks we're gonna have the most amazing truffle of the season in LA as well.
all right. Well, if you guys want any more, let me know, because I would love to continue to work with Luca. We're going to carry all the truffle butter, the pasta, everything on our website. It's there now, and we won't run out until Luca runs out. And we have lots of really amazing Italian wines. And Daniele, we're gonna we want to get more of the next vintage. You said 13 is being bottled now.
Bottling in January, but we're analyzing the market in August, when it will be in the States in September, October.
Okay, so about 9 months from now.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we'll do is when it becomes available, and Scott will let me know, I'll have it. I'll let everybody that's on this Zoom know that it's coming. But for in the time for this moment, there are a few bottles available on the website, and I just wanted to make sure you know that once those are gone, they're gone, because there just really is not anymore, right, Scott?
The only way that there's more available if Danny gives up some of his private cellar to the market.
All right. Well, maybe we can twist his arm.
I 12 more bottles to the state of California, and that's truly my last 12. But Daniele told me that he might consider giving a few 6-packs in the spring. So we'll see what happens.
Okay. All right. Well, Luca, thank you. Go play with your son, and thanks for being on the Zoom. We appreciate
so
it.
much, everyone. Thank
All
you.
right.
Bye bye.
Ciao.
Thank you.
All right. Well, anyone want to say anything to Mr. Conterno, who's been very generous with his time, and we want to respect that he hasn't had breakfast yet.
I just wanted to say hello. It's David and Maria. Maria's Siciliana, testa dura, which is a very, very good cook. She's amazing. And we were there with Ian in Piedmont 4 years ago now, Ian?
It's hard to believe it was already 4 years, but they keep popping up on my Facebook. Great photos.
Yeah,
amazing times.
Yeah, we opened the wine this morning around 8:30, and it was it's quite tight, but you could already tell it's going to be great. And I went back to it and sort of tasted throughout the day, like a little bit. And now with the truffle and sitting here in the glass, it's unbelievable. It's
yeah, I told people to open the bottle last night if they could. Yeah, some people they got their wine this morning, because the wine just continues to evolve, over that first 24 hours. Barolo is one of those wines where you want to give it as much air, throttle that thing open as much as you can, and that's why I think it's singing right now. I mean, it's good right out of the bottle, but it just keeps getting better, and I hope you guys appreciate. But Daniele, I want to thank you for being on the Zoom with us. I want to thank you for gathering with us and bringing a little hospitality in from Piedmont. It's probably my wife and I's favorite place to eat. Going to Piedmont, the food, the setting. People tell me when they go to Italy they lose weight because they walk. I have to bring stretchy clothes that really expand, because I just don't leave the table. And I probably keep drinking and all the great wines. I can't help myself. It's just like the price of things for us when we get there is quite desirable usually too, when the dollar is at least strong. Right, Danny?
Our favorite sport is That's
I could not have said that better myself.
Good job.
I always tell Danielle, tell your government to stop making your currency so strong. We need that euro to go down.
Ian, can I ask a brief question?
Oh, please.
Well, first of all, the wine is fantastic. I'm here in Napa Valley, and
yes,
but I wish we could make wines like this here over here. But what is the oak regimen? You know, I know 7 years, but what kind of barrels are you using? I'm very curious because the wine is just so. It appears to me that there's structure, a little bit structure coming from the wood, but it's primarily this beautiful floral component from the grape itself. So I'm curious what your decisions were in terms of oak.
We use a big barrel always, and a big barrel means 2,500 or 2,300 liter. And this is a Slovenian oak. It's not a French oak, but it's a Slovenian oak. And that's really old. It's like 30, 35 years old.
So are those coming from your family, the old barrels?
Yes, that's barrel for my father.
This is the secret.
We also take the barrel.
Danielle, if you want to do something really fun, it'd be cool. You guys could do like a Napa and Piedmont kind of exchange. Maybe Danielle comes to Napa and does an event at your winery, and then you could go to Piedmont and do an event at his winery in the future.
If only they would let us Americans into Italy.
Well, that we have a lot of of work to do around here before anybody can do anything. So
I have a lot of friends, and they've been many times on Napa. That's for me, that's absolutely the problem.
So
we're also starting in the past some really fun project, but in the end it was quite difficult to realize. But to blend the Cabernet from Napa with Nebbiolo from Langhe, but it was a little bit difficult, difficult way in the middle to make the grapes together.
I think
Michael,
we should be growing Italian varietals here in California with the climate, but Cabernet unfortunately drives too much of a price here in Napa. So I
know some producer he makes Nebbiolo and Arnese in Napa.
Yeah, we have Steve Clifton in Santa Barbara does a really nice job with Nebbiolo.
Lake County has the altitude and it's all volcanic soil. Maybe that would be the place.
That sounds reasonable to me. Michael's winery, by the way, somebody asked me, is Alessandro Bulgaroni, and it's made by Philippe Melka, and it's a beautiful place to visit. So anybody wants to go, he's given me carte blanche to contact him, and you'll get something very special if you want to take a drive to Napa Valley. Michael, I know that with the lockdown, we're all pretty much stay at home right now, but in a few weeks maybe the numbers come back down and we can get in our car and come up and visit.
I'd love to have any of you. Unfortunately, I will not be pouring you Barolo.
Right. Well, we'll just have to take
care for these.
I have a question for you, Danielle. Who are some of your contemporaries? You're a young guy. Who do you hang out with, and who do you talk wine with?
But I do the winemaker school in Alba, where is 7-year school only focused. No, normally it's 6 year. I do 7 because we really like the year in the middle. but I think is if we talk about Barolo region, the situation is changed a lot in the last year, because in the moment where my grandfather is starting to make wine, we have more competition, we have more contrast between different family and different producer. Today we understand we are lucky to have a chance for producing Barolo, where the production is around 12-13 million bottles in the world, when it's nothing, it's so small. The market is totally changed because we sell to Japan, to China, to United States, to South America. The market is totally changed, it's overdeveloped. We understand we have a chance for all producers to to sell your wine for sure. But today, all the people my age go around the world to sell first the Barolo region, first the Langhe, first our concept and our philosophy on Barolo. And that I think is totally changed the market in the world if you go to talk about Barolo. We also have really funny, if you want, we call that Barolo Boys, is a soccer team. And for most part of the people is just fun, and for sure is just fun. But on this way, we make together like 30, 35 producer with a stupid excuse to play soccer. But in the way we go to dinner together, we talk, we taste before realizing on the market, we taste the vintage, we talk about the vintage, we talk about the wine. It's a perfect way for move together and increase together our region. I think that is the big difference comparing when my father or my grandfather and the market is difference on the market. And I think is the best movement we have here on the region. We go around the world first to sell Barolo. After, for sure, I'm here for sell my Barolo. But I never say to don't buy the other because for sure it's different. It's not my taste is different than friend. But always you find Barolo. Also, if it's not take a bottle of Barolo because also the region is absolutely complex. The different vineyard, different end of the producer, it makes amazing difference in the wine. And that is something really important for understand our region and for understand Barolo and drink. That's also so important.
We had Enrico Rizzi on a Zoom earlier this year. Do you know Enrico?
Barbaresco.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I think he's a skier though, maybe not the soccer player.
Yeah.
Do you guys talk to the Barbaresco guys, or do you hate those guys? Do you Barolo and Barbaresco, you like duke it out a little bit?
But but well, for sure, I sell all this history, but in the end, also the village of Monforte is in conflict with the village of Novello. The village of Novello is, but I think some competition and some war is also good for development, for increase the market. I think today we have, comparing than more years ago, we have more, some way more difference in the two kind of market if you talk about Barolo and Barbaresco. And we have more collaboration between the two because the people understand Barbaresco is a different wine, but not lower quality than Barolo. Simply is different region, different soil, different climate, and we're starting to collaboration together. I have a lot of friends in Barbaresco, and sometimes he asks me because people want to introduce Barolo in portfolio or in the wine shop, and they do exactly the same. It's a little bit like from Moscato or from Roero. We are different region. I think in the last 20 years, our region is increased amazing for the market and for the quality of the wine. And that is absolutely good way to work all together and for increase. After that, for sure, I have some producer I don't like, but it's not because I don't like the producer, because I don't like the person, but because I'm not easy guy. I looks like, but not.
At least you know that. That's good. Me too. Well, I just want to kind of sit here for a minute and let everybody kind of look at somebody new, because we've been trapped indoors here, Danielle. We've been in lockdown here in Los Angeles now. It's I don't know what the conditions are like in Piedmont. Are you guys able to get out and?
We opened the bar and the restaurant this morning after 2 months.
Oh,
so that I have to go to the bar.
That's good. That's good. It's good progress. And do you guys have the vaccine coming soon to Italy? January. Okay.
Because European, you have to do more control. I don't know what, but January we talk.
Very good. Very good. Well, please, anyone want to make any comments? Joe, go right ahead, buddy.
Okay, I just wanted to say to Danielle, I'm an Italian boy from New York, and in the late 60s, I started to enjoy wine. I started out with Riuniti, and I never knew a Barolo. We only tasted that in like 1980 in the old spaghetti factory. There was a chain of those around, and they had Barolo on the menu. And I said, never had that before, but it's more money than the rest of the wine, so I think I'll try it. And I became a Barolo fan, but this Barolo tonight was the best I ever had. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much.
Awesome. There was a spaghetti factory on Sunset Boulevard in the 1980s. Yeah. And I think they're going to turn that into well, they were in the process of trying to rehabilitate that space for the guys downtown LA. One of the more popular Italian restaurants that are in downtown LA right now. I can't remember because I haven't thought about it for 10 months. But they were going to expand into that spaghetti factory spot. So we'll see an Italian restaurant there again someday. Yeah.
I want to thank you and Danielle and Scott and everyone involved in creating such a special experience. You know, we're missing out on so much this year, and yet this evening felt incredibly special. We loved opening the wine and feeling it evolve over time. The truffles have been absolutely exceptional. The video was really interesting, and I heard someone else say we learned something from it. So here's a toast to you. Thank you for creating these special experiences.
Oh, thank you so much. I was fortunate to travel with Russell a few years ago to the Napa Valley, and you have such a great voice too, Russell.
Thank you.
And it was wonderful traveling with you. Thank you for the compliment. I really appreciate it. It's nice to work hard and to have it work out. And my team really did some amazing stuff, and Luca and Scott and everybody that came together to get us what we needed to do. So I'm very thankful, and it's just nice to have a lot to do right now. Keeps me busy, and it keeps my mind off of anything else. But I will be a little selfish and just remind people that I used to teach classes about 3 times a week, and we had a loft in downtown LA, and we'd have 20, 25, 30 people in our classroom every Friday, every Saturday, every Sunday afternoon. And it's a nice, modest life. It was fun. It was wonderful. But I loved it. And then I saw the world changing a little bit last year. Business started to soften up, a lot of competition, maybe too much, maybe too many things to do. And so we started to make some plans to change, and we wanted to go to a storefront and kind of create like a little classroom experience. So we rented this space to become a storefront down in downtown LA. And as soon as literally the first day when we got the rental van was the first day that we had to close the idea. And I didn't know if it would be 30 days or by Easter or wherever it was going to be. But, now here we are, and I've really adapted my love for this Zoom idea. I think it's neat that we can have Danielle on the Zoom from Italy to be able to talk with you. We used to have to get you on a plane. You'd hit 14 cities in 12 days. And that was the road warrior type of way to sell wine. And now we can all, kind of from the comfort of our home do this. And I think it is kind of a forced change, but maybe we'll look back at this and say, look at how life has changed. And there could be some really wonderful things that could come out of this, because we can all maybe do life a little differently and maybe not create so much, friction in life, and maybe stress can come off a little bit. Maybe we'll live a little happier, maybe a little less traffic. I'm not sure, but one problem at a time. But Danielle, I want to thank you again for being here, and I hope you go have a great breakfast. And from LA, we send you best wishes. And I hope to have you on a future Zoom so we can talk about other wines too. And thank you, Scott, for introducing Danielle's wine to me. At our My pleasure.
I'm sure we,
I think that Piedmontese connection, someone needs to pull the string a little tighter. There it is. There we go. I got you back. You're there, Danielle.
Okay, sorry. Thank you for the opportunity, and for sure, if you have a chance, we do more. That's absolutely no problem for me. It's a pleasure. And for sure, we'll try to organize something. I hope for February, March, some travel, where if the situation is a little bit better, or in the end of the next year after the harvest, or drink a glass of wine together. Because I'm totally agree with you. The world is changed. Zoom is fantastic, but glass of wine in front of Zoom is not the same.
Same, especially as being in Piedmont, being able to see you, see the beautiful hills, some of the most gorgeous landscape, and the people, the food. It's absolutely a destination you want to go to. And by the way, when I go, I call someone that helps us with all of our accommodation, everything. And we have a very good relationship with her, and we'd love to introduce you and help you when you're ready to go. And of course, we'll be scheduling a trip to Piedmont just as soon as we can. So we'll be seeing you again soon, Danielle. I have a very good feeling about it.
Grazie mille.
So
I go to do breakfast on the bar after 2 months. It's something strange, but
buy some shots for all of our friends. Okay?
Grazie a tutti.
Thank you, Danielle.
Thank you.
Ciao, ciao, ciao.
In the future, we have some wonderful things coming down the pipe. Matthew Kainer, a great guy of wine, and all things that are amazing. He's a great musician, artist, entertainer. He's an educator in wine. He teaches for the Wines of Germany, and he'll be our guest on Wednesday. And we're going to be doing a German Pinot Noir next to his AM/FM Pinot Noir from Santa Barbara that he makes with the winemaker from Presqu'île. And we're going to have a lot of fun with it. It's a great value. You get 2 bottles of wine for $50 delivered, and a wonderful night with Matthew, who's truly a visionary guy. In fact, he was voted one of the top 40 under 40 by the Wine Enthusiast. That's in the world. So pretty influential dude. And I've got to know him pretty well over the years, and done a lot with his bar Cavell and his other restaurants that he's helped open and parent. So I'm real excited about that. And a lot of people have signed up for it. So it's going to be a really fun event. One of the things we used to do are these taste offs, where we'd get some really good wine. We'd put them in the little decanter, and we send them out blind. So we're going to do it with Rioja. And in fact, there's 6 different cool Rioja, from price points like $12 all the way to $75 Rioja, 06, 06, 07. We're going to taste this killer Tinto, which is an 18, this 14, and the 16. And Rioja is one of my favorite wines of Spain and one of my favorite wines of the world, but really a lot to learn. We're going to have a little lesson on Rioja. And there's even an option to add a little jamón to your evening, and we'll get some Spanish ham to you. That's next Saturday, by the way. Then coming into the end of the year, we're going to go out with a bit of a bang. We've got a product, kind of a series, if you will. There's an opportunity to buy it all with one click and save a little bit of money. You're going to get a bottle of Ruinart Rosé, a bottle of Krug Grand Cuvée, and the Taittinger Comte de Champagne. Even if you don't even join me on the Zoom, you can pick up all 3 bottles and save a lot of money. It's cheaper to buy the Zoom with the 3 bottles than it would be to buy all 3 bottles on their own, by a lot. So check those out. But come and join me on the Zoom, and we'll pop some wines on the 23rd, 26th, and 30th. We'll talk about this one particular great champagne, one at a time, really get to know the brand and really get to know one of the greatest wines on the planet. Moving into next year, we're building an active calendar. And just to highlight what we've got so far, Bordeaux versus Napa, a night in South Africa with Simon Back, the owner of Backsburg. And we've got some delicious wines from him on the website right now, including he has a rabbi help make some sparkling wine that is mavushal for the holidays. So high holiday sparkling wine from South Africa because it's kosher. And that's kind of cool. We got a little kosher section on our website now too. We've got In-N-Out versus Shake Shack. We'll do the buzzing around. We're going to get some In-N-Out burgers, some Shake Shack. We're going to do some blind wines, find out which wine you like the best. I'll give you 10 different wines in the lineup. We'll deliver 6 wines. Which of the 10 wines that I give you on the list are they? And we have a lot of fun with Shake Shack, In-N-Out, and some blind wine tasting. Then we're doing a really cool night. If you were with us for the Stars of Pinot Noir, you maybe got to meet Simon from Astrolab. This guy was just captivating. I could hear a pin drop when he was talking. He's just really, really got some fantastic perspective. And the wine is sensational. In fact, I bought a case and then I bought another one and I bought another one. It's outselling other categories. And so Astrolab is doing really well. And because we bought a number of cases, we were invited to get a limited Chenin Blanc and this really beautiful new Sauvignon Blanc. So we're going to taste all 3 in our Zoom. And it's a very fair price. You could either do the small tasting or a full bottle. We call it the full Astrolab, which was the name of a boat that went down in like the 1800s. So there's a little bit of a cosmic thing going on with the name, and Simon will bring it all together for us and take us down to New Zealand, and he'll be live on that Zoom as well. Now, last week we had a dinner with Christopher Emmy that was really sensational. So on the 27th of January, it's not here yet, but we've been really busy with the holiday season. We're going to be spending a lot of time this week getting our upcoming events on. But 27th of January, we're announcing right now a dinner with Kermit Lynch, one of the great wine importers. It's going to be his son, who runs the business, Kermit Lynch now, is going to be live on the Zoom with us. And we're going to do a dinner on the Loire Valley with Kermit Lynch. They have a great portfolio that they import. And Christopher Emmy was born in the Loire Valley. And so we're going to get some of his favorite recipes. Now, this is one of the greatest chefs. He basically is a private chef at this moment, but he was a Michelin star chef at many different restaurants like L'Orangerie and Ortolan. And David, you were on the Zoom. The food was pretty good, right?
Yeah, it was outstanding. It was really, really outstanding. So I'm really happy. Loire Valley is one of my favorites, and can't wait for that. I'm in.
Cool, thanks, buddy. We're gonna dance across the Loire Valley, some of the greatest hits in the portfolio, which will include something like Sancerre or Pouilly-Fumé, some of the Sauvignons that they grow, some of the Vouvray or Chenin wines that they produce in the Loire Valley. Of course, they make some great Cabernet Franc. Then they have some Melon de Bourguignon and some ancient indigenous varieties. So we're kind of putting it all together now. We're going to let the chef mow it over and find some recipes that are really key. And then he was born in a little town called Bonazo, which is a dessert version of Chenin Blanc. In fact, where's Jessica? Jessica, I know you love your Chenin. So this guy, we're going to bring in some really cool wines. And I was thinking of you for this because we're going to get some really killer Vouvray and some other Chenins onto this Zoom. So it's going to be really neat. And he was born in Bonazo, which is a Chenin Blanc based dessert wine. And it's basically Chenin Blanc that's seen noble rod and goes through botrytis and it picks up this incredible richness, and it's an amazing wine. So we'll see what he wants to do with that. And he's got some really creative ideas. and he did some really nice takeout for us. So we're really excited about the dinner with Christopher Emmy, and we're going to keep inventing. We've got Stars of California wine coming, and I can't wait to tell you the wineries that we have got signed up. That's going to be in the middle of January, and you can do one night or you can do all three for the price of two. It's a real value, and we're going to be able to tour all over the place, from Santa Barbara to Paso to Sonoma to Napa and everywhere in between. The Stars of California with some really, really cool, like benchmark top quality producers representing different grapes. We'll have some whites, we'll have some reds, we'll have some Pinots, we'll have some Cabs, a little Zinfandel, and it's going to be really fun. So, and of course, the namesakes, like Mr. Bialy is going to be on there with me talking about Zinfandel. And I can't tell you who the other ones are yet, but we're going to have some really important people. And that's what's cool about Zoom. It's not necessarily the sales guy that's making the trip, but it's actually the winemaker or the owner that's going to come down. Stephanie, I love the fact that your cat just said hi. That's super cool. Beautiful cat. That's a total Zoom bomb right there. Awesome. Well, does anybody want to say anything? What's that? Runs the house? Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Well, beautiful. Looks like it's well taken care of. That's bigger than my dog. All right. Well, if anybody wants to chat, I'll hang around and just kind of shoot the shit with people that want to talk about anything. But otherwise, thanks for joining me tonight. And arrivederci. I'll see you soon. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Ian. Good night, buddy.
Thanks, Ian.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Ian. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. Awesome. Awesome again.
Bye,
Thanks, Ian. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Ian. Thanks. It was great.
Thank you.
We really enjoyed it. Thank you.
I'm so happy to hear you. Thank you, Miss Motter.
Thank you. Oh, check out Belden Barns for a little Pinot. They are fabulous.
Belden Barnes.
Belden Barns. They're a really small manufacturer, and I used to work at Pinot Fest up in the Bay Area.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to tell you, they're really a special little winery.
Oh, I've never heard of it, so I'm going to look it up.
Yeah. Thank you so much. You really enjoyed it.
Discussion. Thank you.
Hey, Ian.
Yeah.
This is Paolo. What are you thinking of Bordeaux and Cabernet? What kind of producers are you having lined up there? Can you share already or not?
No. I'm working on it. It actually led to being two events because I kept talking to different people. And if you've been looking at our website, we went from having about 4 or 5 Bordeaux to having 20. As I start, tasting and coming up with ideas. But we're going to do an event in February called Bordeaux Blind with an importer that brings in wines from Santa Steph, from Margaux, from Graves, from Passec-Léognan, from all the different regions, and we'll tell you, we'll taste them, we'll explore them, and then we'll reveal them. So that see if you could figure out which one's which after we learn a little bit about why they are the way they are. And that's going to be an event that we're going to do. But I'm actually kind of thinking of doing a few instead of many, but really making the wines extra special. So we'll announce it soon though. I have to, I'm running out of time. The date's coming fast.
Looking forward to that. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and I'm getting a kick to do it fast, but I'm going to try to do it right, and we'll probably have it up by Tuesday.
Okay, good. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for making this possible. I'm glad I was able to connect the two of you.
He was a great recommendation to talk to, and I'm really actually impressed with how everybody wanted to do this, and that really made it possible. So my thanks to you and the introduction, and I hope we can bring him some good business too. Very nice man.
Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you. So what's everybody doing right now? What are you looking forward to? I can't wait to watch TV right now. That's about all I get to look forward to. I get out of here after working my butt off, and it's pretty physical. So I get home and I just plop myself down and just vegetate, watch something that's, I never watched TV really for years. So spending 4 hours in a night now watching TV is kind of crazy, but I've been doing that recently.
There's nothing else to do, Ian.
Yeah. But I've been plowing through a couple of interesting shows, and probably about ready to need to find a new one. If you have any recommendations. Anyone got a favorite TV show?
Sarah,
Watching The Mandalorian.
favorite TV show?
I love Mandalorian. That's so good.
And then we try to balance it with more adult TV like Queen's Gambit and things like that.
I loved the Gambit. I mean, have you heard that you can't even buy a chess set right now?
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, that's super cool. And that
2 days ago, I gave my husband an early present, which was a telescope. So after we did this wonderful evening, we're going to go outside and begin our stargazing. I don't know if you've heard, the 21st is the big conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn, and it's going to create the Christmas star. So we're getting experienced with our telescope so we can look at the stars.
Yes, interesting. And I've been hearing a little bit of chatter about how this might also be a fairly strong magnetic event. And that's why we're getting some solar flares that are messing with our cell phones.
Interesting.
And hopefully no earthquakes will result. No?
Yeah.
But if we got any, maybe that's what we'll connect the dots and we'll be like, aha.
I'm going to use that to blame it on, when I don't have good cell reception.
Damn solar flares. Yeah.
You don't know this, but we met you even well before I went on that trip. My husband and I were at your, I would call it loft, when you were doing.
We went to the loft. We went to a bunch of
a wine and chocolate. But I mean, we're talking a good 15 years ago.
Yep. I was there 17. I was there 16 years.
Yeah.
And I started the website just doing it in little restaurants around LA when I lived in Santa Monica. We actually used to use the back room at Ocean Avenue Seafood, which is now King's Seafood.
I don't have many regrets, but one thing I do is that you offered a trip to Argentina, and I wanted to have us to go and my parents go, and it sounded incredible. Hopefully, again, when the world has changed, you'll do something like that again.
Oh, for sure. We made some friends down there too. We can't wait. And I'll tell you, the trip that everybody should have taken with me was Greece, northern Greece. First of all, the dollar in Greece is so strong. It was like we'd go out for a dinner, and we kept the trip very light in price. And we just had everybody pay for their own meals because we didn't actually even know quite where we were going to go every day. It wasn't like we were staying in one hotel. We started at the very north of Greece, and we drove in through the ancient lands and zigzagged back and forth, and we saw these ancient ruins and historical landmarks, and tasted wine all the way down because they make some beautiful wines in the mountains there that don't get exported. And we went whitewater rafting. What were the names of the mountains? The monastery on the top of the rocks. I was like Meta Ora. Look it up on the Google. Met Ora. It basically in I think it was like the 4th century or something. These religious fanatic radicals moved to the top of these little pillar rocks, and they created these little, it was basically where men would go to remove themselves from the temptation, and they would whip themselves and do all kinds of things. I mean, it was dark, and James Bond even filmed, up on these mountains, and it's just kind of places a little less traveled, not necessarily like, we did make it into, of course, see the Parthenon and all the great classics on our own, but that wasn't part of our trip. That was just like, here, enjoy, the capital of Greece and on your own. But when we went out into the wilderness, we found these little grandmas cooking dinner at the winery, and we had these amazing meals. We'd stayed in this little bed and breakfast that was run by the mayor of this town, Nassau. And we woke up and it was covered with snow, and grandma was making us eggs, and it was just magic. And then his brother, who was an archaeologist, found these ruins of Alexander the Great's general. And he's like, oh, you want to go see it? I'll give you a private tour. And didn't ask for any money, nothing. We just went and saw this amazing architectural dig that we probably weren't even supposed to be inside, because it was, I don't know how old that is now. I can't even remember, but it was amazing. It was amazing. Yeah, they were still excavating it. But when you go to Europe, you're driving, like you're in Italy and you're driving through Rome, there's so many historical landmarks, they can't even put them all in a museum. There's columns laying on the side of the roads, and it's the fact that their society is 2,000 years older than ours is just pretty amazing. And I love the connect.
Did you do that Greek trip?
We went to Greece, I would say 3 years ago.
Well, you are the first person I've ever heard say anything positive about Greek wine, but I would believe it from you.
You like this, Nebula? I'm going to tell you right now. Zeno Marvro and Nebbiolo have got to have something in common. Like there's some genetic code there. And I have a bottle of Zeno Marvro on our website that's $32 that is been argued to be the greatest Zeno Marvro in Greece. And I think it's a fantastic bottle of wine. And I have a $12 Zeno Marvro on my website that is just a super little daily drinker. And I think that you can get a lot of value from that part of the world. And when you look into it too, and if I had the slideshow, I could show you some of these pictures. It would take your breath away. We went to a vineyard that was planted real close to the Turkish border, and the vines were over 100 years old, and nobody even knew the vineyard was there. And this young man, it's Greek, kind of entrepreneur. He went to school in Bordeaux, learned how to make Bordeaux, working at Petrus and other places, and then came back after making some money to Greece and bought this land, rehabilitated the vineyard. And there's some really, really good wines in Greece, really good wines. Getting them here, having good success with them is a little bit harder than that sounds. There's just, people aren't lining up for expensive Greek wines because they can't get expensive. And the Greek restaurant culture isn't necessarily screaming drink wine when you go out to a Greek meal. So it's kind of a, where do you sell those wines and how do you sell those wines type of an equation, but they are really, really, they can be really good. And there's a bunch of crap. And that's also the problem, is that the crap made it here probably first.
I hear the voice of your lovely bride. Is she going to ever come on camera with you?
No.
Oh, okay.
She's around the corner and reminding me of all the stuff I forget. But she's absolutely never going to go on the camera. She wouldn't even take a picture with me if we were in public somewhere. So, yeah, I can safely say she's not going to be coming on the camera anytime soon.
Well, fair enough.
How do they grow? Sorry. So Ian, what do they grow in Greece? What kind of grapes?
So the red grape is Xenomargro, but they make a number of whites that are pretty outstanding. And you can, let me just show you.
You say the other wine is like an Nebbiolo?
Yeah, let me show you the wine too. So we go here, we go regions, we go, where's Greece? Over here, Greece. So Sertico is the often found in Santorini. And when it's really good from Santorini, it is it's almost Chablisian like a Chablis. Those wines are getting harder and harder to find because the whole world loves these wines. And Santorini is this teeny little island. They do grow some really good Assyrtiko in northern Greece, and that's what this one is. And this has got a little splash of Malagosia in it, and it's just a really fantastic bottle of white wine. And no one would taste this wine and say anything short of, wow, that's good. It's dry, it's pure, and it's different too, which is also what I think is interesting about Greek wine. It's not like you're tasting yet another version of Syrah. We've got, this is the champion right here. And maybe speaking Greek would be a little bit, easier to sell some of the wines if they weren't all in Greek. But the name of the grape is Xenomargro, and that's the Nassau grape. And Nassau's up in the hills, and it's just a beautiful country up there, and very underpopulated, still kind of, forest and wild and less populated. That's all I'll say. And this little guy for about $13 is really, really cool. And all of our wines, of course, come down 10% when you buy 12 bottles, and the free shipping as well. So that's how we do it. And we're not going to try to have 1,000 wines on our website. I'm just trying to find some really cool, different things. And I'm very proud of these 3 wines. I probably don't need 20 Greek wines though. And so these are my ambassadors for Greece. So thank you guys for staying on the Zoom with me. I don't know your name's PT. You're frozen. Maybe you're not there. I just saw your finger move. Oh, there you are. How are you? I think we're all alone now. Wasn't that bottle good, Russell?
Yes, and we got ours, and such a lovely delivery guy. Ours showed up at like 3 o'clock, and we opened it instantly, and as you instructed, tasted it, and it was
it was like orange blossom. It had citrus. It had like a sweet citrus, but it was good from the very beginning.
Oh, incredible! And then a couple hours later, it was more chocolatey.
It was very specific. It was Ghirardelli chocolate.
You nailed it.
Yeah, that was my favorite moment. It's been. Sorry, the glass is empty at this point. The bottle. It's been great from the moment we opened it, and continuing into the night. So I guess I personally would push back a little on opening it the night before, because I've been just loving the journey that's been going on since we opened it.
Yeah, I mean it's a remarkable bottle of wine. Not every bottle of wine can do that, but this one, and this Grape Variety and this particular rendition deserves a nice big window to watch it.
And how incredible that though, his grandfather and his father were obviously accomplished winemakers, that this is kind of his first major, I mean, how incredible.
2012.
Yeah, he still works for his dad. And his dad, I actually have his dad's wines on my website. And you can't get the Giacomo Conterno wines. So yeah, they're I mean, not I can't. some of the more established retailers in LA have the allocations because they've been buying them for years and they deserve them. But if those do free up and they're offered to me, I'll get some. But they are.
And the truffles were so fresh and delicious. A couple of years ago, we went up to Oregon for the Oregon Truffle Festival. Have you done that?
I haven't.
You know, Oregon is really trying to establish another major crop, you know, with wine. And we were in the Willamette Valley. And actually, you know, they take you out on a whole, you know, truffle dig. And we were with a professional forager, which was really funny.
That's cool.
But even then, we flew home from Oregon, from Portland back to LA with our little precious truffles. And what you got us today was just incredible.
Yeah, this is the season, the moment, and Luca is really involved in bringing those things in fresh. They have to be fresh, but you know, we
chose to get the white truffles tonight.
I didn't get to ask everybody about the black truffle, but a lot of people wanted the black truffle, and I'm like, maybe you should make sure you try the white truffle.
White truffle here.
The Italian white truffle is, you know, unmatched. But we put it on the pasta, and I also made fillets, pan-seared fillets, and we just.
It was ridiculous.
We
realized we were having probably
it was so good
of a $2,000 meal between the wine, the truffles, the meat. I mean, really.
That's right.
If we were in like a Vegas restaurant, that Barolo would probably be $700 on the wine.
Yeah,
I believe it.
Exactly.
And the truffles would probably, you know, the truffles would probably end up being $100 addition supplement for a portion that's 1/4 of what you were able to give yourself tonight. So.
Oh, it got ridiculous. At a certain point, we were shaving truffle on each bite. Shave, eat, shave, eat. I mean,
I was truffle boy. I was like, she'd eat a little bit, like, shave a little more, and she'd shave a little more.
Love to hear that.
Well, thank you. Really special. Just a wonderful way to kick off the holiday season. Yeah.
It's great to spend some time with all of you. Thank you very much for your.
Well, one thing you didn't mention, Ian, are you doing the 12 days of Christmas where you taste a different wine every day?
So yes, what that is about is I found my 12 best value, and they're not all like cheap wines. These, you know, there's a couple of $75 bottles in there, but I just put together a fun box that I could offer up. You know, some people want to buy a case of wine, and I'm going to release a video. I'm going to do it on Zoom. So it's going to be live, and then I'll tape it, and then I'll send it out to everybody that bought the gift as a way to kind of, you know, on a daily, you know, reminder, or you could just watch the video anytime you want. It'll be also posted to Facebook and just kind of live.
Really a different wine for 12 days?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's just a short one though, just a short one, not a long segment like this. We'll just do, you know, 10 minutes about that one wine. I'll kind of deep dive on the why I picked it and get it open and taste it and move on. And they're different wines. You know, these aren't, I'm trying to find stuff that maybe you haven't bought and introduce you to some things that are a little different. And I think it's a really compelling box set. You know, as a small business, we only have a couple of everything. We don't buy 200 cases of anything. So it's a little bit risky because some of it might, at some point in time, you know, I might run out. But this is where you find them. And the 12 Days of Christmas, I was going to talk about it. It's supposed to be on my Zoom into Wine, but it only shows up on a couple of browsers. And so it didn't show up on there, but it's probably, if I had my other browser open, it would have been there. But just, you know, my favorite Cabernet under $75, my favorite little $15 Malbec, my favorite Burgundy to recommend, and just really made it different. I went all over the world to Syrah, Sardinian Cananao, little Super Tuscan, a wine from Baja. I love my Beaujolais, and Jean Fayard is one of the best producers. The wines from Bersco. Just these are stunning wines that everyone's going to be talking about in about 10 years. Bersco is absolutely sensational stuff from Spain. This producer, Di Martino, took my breath away this year with Carmenere. And this was the very first wine I bought for the new website. And I knew I loved the wine, and I had an opportunity to kind of control it because I got a great price on it. And if anybody else would have bought it, they would have sold it for $12.95 because they paid $11 for it and blown it all out. So I bought it all, and I bought like 35 cases of it.
Oh, I love
And
Monticello.
this is a great little bottle of wine. It's one of my favorite little finds of the year, and it was a Trepicari award winner. And I said, that's my first buy right there. And I literally filled the whole corner of my room with this wine. We're down to about 10 cases now. So
Well, I think it's a really clever idea, especially after this year. You know, going 12 wines out is probably a good way to do it.
yeah, and it's not a, it's $300. So it's a good value proposition. It's about $450 worth of wine. So
Very cool.
you guys have.
We're going to say goodnight. We're going to have our dessert, but thank you again. Great experience. Everything about it.
I thank you. And I look forward to seeing you all again.
Yes, sure. Bye. Happy holidays.
Thank you. Thank you very much, guys.